Well, hello, and happy Nowruz, everyone. Welcome to Dela's Voice. Happy Nowruz special. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I hope you enjoy. I am going to mute the song because it is a 10-minute long song, but we don't wanna go there. But welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of Della's Voice. This special episode on this Saturday morning. Today is the first day of spring, and millions of people all around the globe celebrate Nowruz as the start of the year, as a new start, as a fresh start. Um, all around the world, we have different cultures. We celebrate different celebrations, and to me, unity comes if we understand each other better. And what other way than representing, talking about, introducing our cultures to one another, especially when we have gotten so close in the past year. I think all of us can agree that the world has gotten smaller, and we can touch each other's lives just by coming on camera like this and speaking to one another. I know for me that has been so true. So today we are going to talk about Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Where does it come from? How did it get started? And what does it mean? And how do we celebrate it around the world? So stay with us for the next hour. Drop us some lines, give us your comments, share with us your experience, and let's just have an hour filled with positivity, happiness, joy, and information. So I want to welcome my guests on the show, and I'm going to talk about just a little bit of an introduction about each guest, so that you know who they are. I'm so privileged and honored to have you, my beautiful guest today on the show, helping me out like this. This means a lot to all of us. So let's get started. Okay, starting just next to me, we have Mrs. Sanaz Talebi. Sanaz is a high school teacher turned foodie. She just loves Persian cuisine. She's lived in Canada for 32 years, but she still stays true to the Persian tradition. And recently, in August of 2020, she took a step and started her own business called. Oh my gosh, I wrote it down. Let me just see, make sure I say it right so you can follow her, right? We want that. So Quick Kitchen Creation, you can follow her on Instagram, and she posts all sorts of amazing recipes on there, and she does catering, so please reach out to her. So welcome, Sanas. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dela, for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be amongst all of you. And I'm very happy to talk about Nowruz.
Happy Nowruz to you, my dear.
Thank you.
Next, we have Dr. Berang Ajam. Uh, what can I say? I mean, we've worked together for a long time. You probably have seen him on my shows. We've done several shows together. He's appearing on my Persian show every 6 weeks with his wisdom, his knowledge, his experience. Berang is a speaker. He's a mind power coach, and he's the author of this book. And I wanna make sure I say the name properly. Manifesting and Mind and you can purchase that book on Amazon, on .ca or Amazon.com. Welcome, Berang. Thank you for being here today. Happy Nowruz.
Happy Nowruz to you too. Thank you for having me today. And
Amazing.
I would like to say Happy Nowruz to everyone who's seeing this show and everyone around the world. It's, as you said, it is celebrated in many places by many people. So, and it's a new day. So, Happy Nowruz.
New day, and that's what you're going to speak on.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So excited. Okay, next to Berang, I think below Berang, we have Dr. Leila Hojabri. Dr. Hojabri is a doctor of chemistry. She is a financial coach, and she's an entrepreneur. Dr. Hojabri recently started her own program called Well and Wealthy with Leila, where she talks about how to better your life, just how to improve your life financially, spiritually, personally. She's an advocate for self-development, and I'm so grateful to be working with Dr. Hojabri. She's been on my show also several times. We always have great conversations. Thank you for being here, Leila, and happy Nowruz to you.
Thank you for having me. It is my privilege to be in this show, and I would like to say Happy Nowruz to everybody around the world that celebrate this time of year. It is a spring. The weather is perfect in Canada. I hope everywhere else the same. And thank you.
Thanks for being here. Next, we have Tarik Farhad. And I recently met Tarik when I put out the post that we are going to introduce Nowruz. We're going to make Nowruz global celebration. He jumped right on board and he said, I'm in. If we're going to introduce Nowruz to the world, I want to be there. And he's joining us from India in this very moment where it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I'm not sure. And so thank you so much for making this special appearance, Tarik. Tarik is a university student, second year of his bachelor's degree in, I forgot, I wrote it down. I want to say the correct, yes, management studies. He's won scholarships. He's a speaker. He is just an eager person who loves to see the world happy and positive. And Tarik was born in Afghanistan, so he knows all about the tradition of Nowruz. And he's going to talk about how Nowruz is celebrated in Afghanistan. So, happy Nowruz to you, Tarik. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. It is a pleasure for me to say Happy Nowruz to everyone, especially to the panelists. And I'm really glad that I am talking right now with all of you. You all are wonderful people, and also around the world is celebrated, and it is a great festival, and everyone celebrated. So it has a great honor for me that I want to introduce you how Nowruz is celebrated in Afghanistan, and especially those people or those families that are beyond and far from their homeland. Hope to have you and enjoy here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it's so true that there are millions of people all around the world, maybe away from their homeland, but have been able to keep this tradition going, and we're very proud of that. So it is time to start talking about Nowruz so that you, our viewer, can get a glimpse of what it's all about, the beauty of it, and maybe you can actually incorporate that into your celebrations. Who knows? Okay, so I want to take a few moments and say hello to all our viewers. If you are watching us right now, I want to thank you, and please drop us a line so that we can see you and say hello. And so some of the people who are already here and have left us comments, I want to just say their names quickly, and we're going to get started. I've got Sarah here saying hello. I've got a viewer walking with Tiger 2018. I love that. So he's here and he's saying hello. and or she, I don't know. Believe in yourself is here, also saying hello. Tammy's here, and she's saying happy Nowruz. Masood is saying happy Nowruz, everybody, and Frida's here, sending us hearts. Rostam Khan is here, and also Junaid Ashuri. He's also here and saying hello. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, I'm going to go to Berang. Berang is going to talk about the idea of reset, a new start. So take it away, Berang. I'm going to mute everybody else so that you can be heard.
Thank you. I just unmuted myself. Yeah, you see, there is some rationale behind any celebration. Why do we celebrate? Why is this day different from other days? Why every day could be different from other days? You know, every day could be a new start, but we point some points. I mean, we appoint per se some points in year in our lives to have a new start because we need it. We want to have that feeling that we can have a new start. And Nowruz, which means new day in Farsi, it is the best time to do that. Why? Nowruz is a new day, it's a new year, and it's the start of a new era. It is the start of, it's the beginning of spring, which is the beginning of flourishing everything. You know, it's genesis, growth, and beauty and freshness that is coming from the nature. So that is the best time to decide or maybe redecide what we want to be. It's all about redecisioning. Yes, I have had this life behind me for so many years, but every year, every day, but you know, with every day with that celebration, I am given the opportunity to think about everything and decide whether I want to be the same person like last year or last year's, or I want to be a new one, a new me. And everything, that new me begins with a decision. I know that it seems to be not very easy. It's not easy actually, but it is very simple. The point is that as human beings, we are creating our lives every day, every moment. And we can create a new life today at this moment. And that is the whole thing behind Nowruz, the new day. Why is it called new day? Because it is a new day, it is a new year, it can be a new life for us. That's why we do those kinds of, you know, we promise ourselves to do things or that. And I believe maybe Nowruz is the best time, it gives you the best mindset to do that, because other places when they have New Year's, it is in the middle of the winter or I don't know when, but Nowruz is the beginning of the rebirth of the nature. And we can rebirth with a new being that is coming from inside, from our thoughts, from what we have learned. We can decide to be a new person. We can let ourselves to use all those learnings throughout the last year and put it in use with a new being just today and start a new life. That seems to be, you know, very far from each and every one of us. Many of us think that it is just a day for have seen and just seeing family and looking around and, you know, just visiting our friends. That is part of it. That's a big part of it that our guests will be talking about that. But let's look at it this way. Nowruz can be a new beginning. It is the time to do that. And with that kind of inspiration that comes from the nature and from the day and from the celebration and from everything that we do, that is the best time to do that. That's why I wanted to, I mean, this is the topic that I chose. It could be a new person. It could be a new me. Nowruz is a new day, a new me. I can have a fresh start. Whatever had happened to me, we can put behind, because the past will not repeat itself if you don't want it to. It is upon us to decide if we want to repeat those cycles in our lives, many, many cycles, or we can have a new being, a new day, and Nowruz, a happy Nowruz. So make it your day for a new being, a new day, and a Nowruz.
Barry, thank you so much for that perspective. It's so true that, we always talk about a restart, a fresh start, and there's no time better than today, this very moment, I think, to just start thinking of, okay, what do I want different? What do I want for new? So do you have some tools? Do you have a couple of things that you can suggest if someone were to decide to make this their new beginning? Where would they start? How can they start?
As you know, I'm always into very practical points of view. I want everything that we know to put into practice. So it all starts with a new desire. Maybe I haven't been thinking about what I want in life. We don't even give ourselves the right to want new things, new persons, new people, new situations. And I know that it's hard, but let's just imagine ourselves in a new situation in life. Let's imagine a new life. Every change in life starts with a new desire. So without desire, we don't have any change. If there is a desire, then everything else will come. So for this year, it's actually the word 1400, right? It's a new beginning. Also, the number is very good too. What would you like to see yourself? What would you like your life to be? Can you imagine that? Or is it just something you say, I want this, I want that, but just for a moment, if you make yourself a bit calm, just for 3 minutes, it doesn't take more than that. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Can you imagine yourself at the end of the year 1400, what you want to be, what your life would look like? If you can do that, which is sometimes very hard to do, but it is possible, then this year will be different from last year, because you are now practicing a new desire that can get to reality. It can be realized. So what I want to invite you to is to think about what you want to be, who you want to be in your life, how would you like your life to be at the end of the year 1400. Let's say it is 29th of Isfand, 1400, and we are just one day before a new year. What would your life be? If you can imagine that, and just put for 3 or 4 minutes, and if you can do it every day, then you will see that whatever you have thought about and what you have imagined just starts to manifest. My book's name is Manifesting in Mind, because it starts from mind and then it is manifested in our lives. Can you do that? Just, I would like to invite you to really do that after this show or during this show, while I'm talking. Just give yourself a bit of time to imagine how you would like to be, how you would like to live, would you like to see your life at the end of 1400. That desire is the starting point of any change that you want to make. That is the tool that I would like to introduce to our audience today.
Great, thank you. So powerful. Bang is always talking about the law of attraction and how it works in our lives. And that's step number one, isn't it? Just to be able to clearly see your desire.
Exactly.
And imagining it and inviting it into our lives every single day. So thank you so much, Bang. We'll come back to you in a few minutes. Awesome. Thank you so much for starting us off with a new reset mindset. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to read a comment from Sarah that says, not only do I wish you had good days. I wish you could make good days for yourself and others. Be powerful and successful. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. That's a great wish for everybody. Okay, we're going to go to Sana's next. She's going to talk about the festive part of Nowruz and all the beautiful things that you see. Every single person who celebrates Nowruz will have some sort of a display like this, and there'll be items on that display, and each item has a special meaning that goes back years and years and years in history. And so, with that, Sana's June, take it away.
Will do. So, like most celebrations around the world, Persians have something called the haft scene. And haft is actually the number 7 in Farsi, and scene is the letter S. So there are a minimum of 7 things that have to be on this table, starting with the letter S, and each of them signify something that, as Berhan John said, you want to start the new year fresh and have a new beginning. And these are the good things you hope to bring into the new year with you. So I don't know, Dela, do you want me to go and show you guys or just speak about each item?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can show. Can you like pick things up and show? I don't want you to go. I don't want it to.
Yes,
I don't
that's
want to mess
also
up
a
your.
good question. That's a good. Okay, let's just let's do it this way. I'll try to see.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is sabzi or sprouts, and these are usually made with wheat or lentils or anything else that you can plant. And this is to represent the rebirth and the coming of spring. And in Toronto, anyways, things are starting to go green right now, which is a good thing after the cold winter. Another thing we have that represents spring and beauty is the sombol, which is the hyacinth plant or the flower. And the smell of hyacinth, if you've ever smelled it, is just intoxicating. And it's the one thing, if there's nothing else on my scene, the hyacinth and the aroma and the smell of the hyacinth makes me think of Nowruz immediately. I was in the hardware store a few days ago and I smelled sombol and I was like, oh my gosh, Nowruz is coming. And it was just, that excitement and giddiness you get as a child. We also have seep, and you can't see it, right here. So we have seep, and seep or apples represent beauty. Then we have seke, which is money and wealth. So that's always a good thing to have prosperity and wealth in the new year. We have somar. Now my somar is a little more off red, but somar sumac has like a deep red hue, and that represents the sunrise. So the sun rising on a new day, a new year, a new beginning. Samanu is a pudding that's made of wheat, flour, and water. So you take you take the wheat sprouts, you create wheat milk from it, and you just boil it with the flour, and it creates this sweet pudding, which is very healthy, but it also represents patience. Patience and barakat. Barakat چی بود به انگلیسی? Oh my gosh.
Abundance. Yeah.
And blessings, yes. Senjet, which I recently found out the English word for it is called Russian olives. And this is what it looks like when you take the peel off. And these represent love. All sir, which is garlic, represents health. Serke, which is vinegar, also represents actually patience. And then you go however way you want. So there's sweets that you have, which represent the sweetness you want to bring into the new year. Different flowers that represent, again, the spring and the coming of the new year. You have eggs that are painted, and these represent the cycle of life and birth. And this is also prominent in cultures that celebrate Easter. I'm going to move over my chair and show you ajil. And this is just a mixture of different dried fruits and nuts. And again, this is abundance and all. There's like sweet nuts and mulberries that represent the sweetness for the new year. This little guy here, he's my favorite. If you want to make a comparison, for Christmas we have Santa Claus. Persians have Amun Nowruz, and he is the one that ushers in the beginning of a new year and the spring and vitality and new life. And then there's usually something, I'm sorry about my bad cameraman skills. There's usually something to tell time, bring in the new year. And perhaps one of the best things on there is the ADs that are usually in the form of money that are given. You put candles and a mirror to represent light and enlightenment and going from that dark winter into a new life and a new year. Traditionally, there have been fish that was placed in the half scene. I've stopped doing that for a few years now. I found this little cute koi pond on Amazon. I figure the little goldfish usually end up dying way before the festivities are over. So I figured, you know what, let's stay away from that. I don't want that there. I think I covered everything. If there's something I missed that the other panelists would like to chime in with that, I would be happy to hear.
You did that so beautifully, Sanas. It was awesome. Thank you so much for taking the camera over.
I'm just going to quickly talk about, there's some cultures that have like that place either a holy book, for again enlightenment or spirituality. Some people have taken to using the Hafiz book, which is the book of poetry, which I think more and more these days people are making Nowruz more of a celebration that's separate from any religion or particular belief system. And if there's time, I can talk about Sabzi Polo Mahi, but if not,
there is time. No, absolutely. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so being a foodie, I when Dela said, "What do you guys want to talk about?" I said, "I want the food first," and then I was like, "And I'll do hafsi." But for food, I recently also learned. So there's some traditional foods and sweets that are served or created for Nowruz. I'm going to talk quickly about this little guy. This is called qotab, and it's like a little empanada, and it's filled with ground nuts.
Sanas, can you do that again? I'm going to put you on solo layout so people can see you.
So this is called qotab, and it can come in two forms. And the qotab is actually like a little empanada that's filled with ground nuts and cardamom and rose water. And I recently learned that in Kerman, these are made because they're like little packages, and they're filled with goodies and sweetness. So it's like you want to start the new year with sweetness and good things. So that's one of the desserts that I recently learned about. I wanted to share about you guys. But the traditional meal, there's two things that are usually served for the night, or either some people have it the night before the new year. Some people have it the night of the first day of the new year. My family, after this show, we're going to go to my parents' place, and my mom's going to be making it for us. But the dish is called Sabzi Polo Mahi, which is usually white fish with rice and different herbs. And the fish can be fried, it can be baked in the oven. Some parts of Iran in the north, they stuff the fish with aromatic herbs and garlic and other goodies. And the reason for the fish, I found out, is because the story dates back to King Solomon, Hazrat Suleiman, and his ring. Now, myth or legend has it that King Solomon had this ring, and with it, he controlled the forces of good and evil. And one day, the evil force takes this ring, and he turns himself into King Solomon, and he sits on the throne. And no matter how many times the king, the true king, tries to explain that this is a fake, he's an imposter, I'm the real deal, nobody believes him. And to make the job of the king even harder, this evil force throws the ring into the sea. And what ends up happening is King Solomon goes fishing. And with each fish he catches, he opens the stomach, and finally he finds his ring. He puts it on and he tells the people, this is me, he's not real, I'm the real deal. And so that's where we get the mahi from, the fish. And the eating of the fish is to represent us being able to see the truth, and being able to see truth in whatever form it comes in, and enlightenment. Rice, like most cultures, is a symbol of abundance and barakat. We say it in Farsi. So there's that. And then the herbs, again, links to this new season and the arrival of spring. Now, some parts of Iran, perhaps fish wasn't accessible or as abundant or affordable for everybody. So they took the fresh herbs and they made kuku sabzi, which is basically eggs and herbs. So an egg frittata, a Persian version of an egg frittata. And again, eggs and the abundance and the herbs and everything like that. So those are the two main dishes that we have for Nowruz. Some people have both, some people have one. I know in Tabriz, for example, tradition is to have kufte, which is like this huge meatball, and inside it they put a boiled egg and dried fruits and some like walnuts and things like that. And that, again, when you open up this package, it represents like a gift. You're opening up a gift, but each of those items within that huge meatball represents something, a good wish for the new year. And lastly, some parts of Iran, they make dolme, which is grape leaves that are stuffed with rice and lentils and herbs and things like that. Again, opening up a package is celebrating a new beginning. So that's all I have to say about food.
Wow. Okay, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm really hungry now. I can eat. And wow, so thank you so much. I mean, I never really thought about the why we eat fish and why kuku sabzi, and the idea of this package, this gift that you open up and it's filled with abundance. That was really cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about the Persian food and Nowruz.
Of course, it was beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. Next, I'm going to go over to Layla. Layla is going to talk to us about some added traditions to Nowruz. What happens before and what happens after, and the significance of all of that. So take it away, Layla. Oh, let me unmute you. I'm so sorry. I have to unmute you first. There you go. There you go.
That's okay. I really enjoyed speaking of Mr. Dr. Ajam and Sana's June. I really am just totally melted listening to all this tradition. I want to point out some good thing about our Iranian calendar first, because I think that's very important to know that Iranian calendar is one of the most accurate calendar in the world. It's kind of a start with the spring, and then summer, and then fall, and then winter. So the earth is kind of beginning the life and then going and then start again, which is really makes sense. So now in Nowruz, we have 12 days of ceremony, which usually start with younger people go to see the older, and then older come back to say, show the respect the other way. So they do all of parties, maybe some family take vacations. So after these 12 days, we're reaching to the day 13, which is kind of the closing of the ceremony. I want to talk about that day, especially that day, and how it's happened to, like, we have it from 1800 BC that Iranians celebrate the day of 13 by going to kind of garden outside to the nature, and they name it Nature Day. So what does come to our culture, which is not from us? They said because of unlucky of the 13 they do that. But I take a look on, on some of the reference, and I see, no, that is not true. Actually, there is not such an unlucky, bad, or some kind of this in Iranian culture. Is everything is based on wellness, everything good, lucky. So it's actually come from, started from. It is kind of the rain, people wishing for the rain in the day of 13. So in one part we have God of rain, the other part we have demon of drought. So people really want rain in that day. So they go out, they start dancing, they making party out because they want to help the God of rain, So that's the beauty about Sizda Bedar. We call it Sizda Bedar in Farsi. So it started from this, not from unlucky of 13. That was one point that I want to talk about this. So now people go out, they usually bring the food, whatever left from the Hyacinth table, because that day they actually finishing, putting everything back, and then if there is some food, they're gonna take it outside with the food, with, for example, lunch, because the whole day they are outside. So then they go, and a lot of group playing. They make a lot of play. They some culture, they even have ashreshte, which is kind of traditional soup, Iranian soup, noodle soup. So they make ashreshte in the afternoon. They may eat kahu and sekanjabin, which is lettuce and kind of a syrup of honey and vinegar. So, and then they have one more thing. They have one more thing. They actually kind of tying. They do not nothing of grass, and younger generation do that because of the belief that comes from to find the ideal partner, hopefully. So I take a look why we have this. Where is this come from? And I found that in Avesta, which is a sacred book of Zoroastrians in Iran. It's written down there. The king Kumars had two boy and girl twins, like a son and daughter, and they got married in the day 13 of Farvardin, which is in the exact day of Sizda Bedar. So in that ceremony, they actually knot two stems of flower, kind of, to tying to each other by doing that. So that tradition starts from there. And nowadays, younger generation do that, trying that to find their ideal partner. But everybody else also do it. It's kind of tying our life to the nature when they do that, which is, is whole of this tradition. It's just about beauty, about wellness, about being friend, about, kind of better relationship with each other. So that was it. That was it about Sizda Bedar. And Dela June, back to you if you have any other question for me.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Okay, so now you talked about Sizda Bedar, which is great. Do you have anything at all on Charshanbe Suri, Leila June?
Charshanbe Suri, yeah, I can talk about Charshanbe Suri. It's to be honest, I didn't go through it to see when the tradition is a start, but it is like the last Tuesday night of the year. So Nowruz start from the 1st of Farvardin, which is the first day of spring. So the Tuesday night exactly before. So it's going to be the last year. They call it Charshambe Suri, which is going to be the night that tomorrow is Wednesday. So the name of Charshambe is based on the Wednesday. So what they do, they put some fire, and then people jump over the fire, and then we say زردی سرخی تو از من، زردی من از تو. Means they want all of this kind of sickness. Zardi, yellowish, means yellowish face. It means kind of a symbol for being sick. So my sickness goes to you, and then your redness, which is health, come to me. So that's they do. This is about Charshambe Suri. I know there are some other tradition like Qashogh Zani, which is kind of the same as Halloween party, maybe where people go, and then I know in very old days, I don't know, they have this kind of, I don't know, Dudkesh. Can you help me with the they had some kind of
the fireplace chimney.
It kind of, it's not exactly like a chimney, but the old days I've heard about, parents and grandparents. So they go to this roof of, the neighbors. It's in Iran, it's all attached. It's not like separate like here. So they go through the roof, and then they have like a bowl with kind of a string on it, and then they put it in from that, and then the people of the house putting some sweets, some candies. I don't know what they had it in that day, but they put something for them, and then they bring it up. So that was a tradition. It's in my generation, we didn't have a chance to do it. It's just I've heard about it. That's all I can say about Charshambe Suri.
Amazing. It's all about festivity and having fun and connecting and just really beautiful parts of life that we can celebrate. I just love talking about the different celebrations. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
For that bit. That was really cool. Okay, so a couple of comments. Sarah says, "Dear Layla, what a new and beautiful combination of blue with the beautiful color of the yellow apples in your display."
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Looks really good. And Walking with Tiger says, "Thanks, Sanas, for great presentation about Nowruz." It was awesome. Okay, and Babak says, "I'm hungry too." I know, all that talk about food, right? So thank you so much to all three of you. So far we've learned so much, and so now we're going to go to our next guest, Tarik Farhad, who's joining us from India. It is like 3 a.m. right now in India, so, and he's like sitting upright. So we're good. That means we're keeping him awake. So Tarik, we're going to go to you and hear from you, from your perspective. How do you remember celebrating Nowruz with your family? How do you celebrate Nowruz in Afghanistan?
Yes, of course. Everyone in Afghanistan, also in in Iran and other countries, also they celebrated Nowruz. In Afghanistan, also families celebrated, and they do it as a gift and as an opportunity for starting new part of their life. This is, I remember sometimes that when the New Year comes, with that, the Nowruz also comes, the new day. And we wear new clothes and go out to neighbors, and also we join and invite people and our friends to our house. And also we celebrate that one with fruits and with different colors that brings happiness and joy to our house and in next coming year. And most family that they do it in Afghanistan, they also has Samanag and Afseen, and with that, along that one, they have holy book, Quran also with them, and they grab it and put it there as a religious things. that they think that it will protect us and it will guide us, like this one also. But the most interesting and most fascinating part is that it is an opportunity for yachts and for people to go out of their houses and go to a picnic. And for picnic, you can choose different places in Afghanistan. Hello, yes, and you can go to Mazar. It is a very famous, as there they celebrate there is a Khalqi Sharifa and as a Delhi shrine. So people go there, and other foreigners also comes there, and every year for seeing there is a festival, and it's called a Red Flower Festival at Nowruz, and it includes seeing red tulips blooms. So that is a kind of very interesting. And after that, there is a plane. This is also called a great. There is a plane of Shadian plane. That is a historical part, and you can choose that one in Mazar Sharif in Balkh. That you can go there with your family, with your friends, and have a picnic for one day or as long as you want. And it is you will see a lot of families there, and a lot of red faces and with a joy there. No, so that in I can say also say in India also people celebrate. I can see here also there are people that they celebrate, and in other countries also. I think in when United Nations that accepted Nowruz as a festival, there was countries that supported, and it was India, Afghanistan, Iran, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and these countries supported a lot that it should be as a festival. It should be named, and it should be there in the United Nations. And right now, we are here to introduce that one. Uh, for me, it is a really a great start for me. I can hope and I can bring some changes, and I can compare my last year to this. That what change should I bring to my life? And there is a small thing that why the Nowruz celebrated. This is the Nowruz is the new day is a precise moment when the Earth's equator passes through the center of the sun's disk. So this is equals the day and night equally. So the next day will be coming. It will be a new day. After that, this will not happen, and it will happen next year. So I think this is also celebrated, and from our ancestors and coming generation, they will also celebrate that one. And it's right now every each year, and in every society and in every community has different festivals and have different ways to celebrate it. And but most commonly, we have seen we have we go to our friends' houses, and we have great joy and happiness, and we wish to each other that happy Nowruz and happy New Day. So I don't remember that I just, as I mentioned before, I don't remember that I crossed a fire, but it is a great festival. It's a great opportunity for us to do it. And I will try when I go back to my country, and right now I'm here. So thank you. If you have any question, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Tarik. And you went and beyond. Honestly, thank you so much. It's what a great way to bring it all together, full circle. That was awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I know that it's really late into the morning for you, so we really appreciate you being a part of this panel. So okay, so we still have a few minutes, and I want to go around and actually, first of all, I want you to tell me your best memory of Nowruz as growing up, because I always love to hear those stories. I didn't ask you this before, so I'm putting you on the spot. So, what is your best memory of Nowruz? What brings a smile to your face, or just what is it you love about Nowruz? What makes you anticipate Nowruz and so much? And just share with us that memory. So we're going to go around, take a few minutes, and do that, and then we also want to leave time to go around again and to leave us with your final message. So. Let's take a minute each to tell our best memories. Sanas, we'll start with you.
Sure, Azizan. So my family left Iran 30 something years ago, and when we came to Canada, we didn't have any family here. So I remember the very first Nowruz, my parents, with the little money they had, I remember there was a ton of gifts on the by the Hyacinth table. And my parents had taken the time. I mean, they weren't big gifts. It could have been a pack of erasers or a shirt or something, but they had taken the time and they had written to dear Sonas, now obviously in Farsi, from grandma, for Seper or my brother, from your uncle or your cousin, and they had made it feel like we had family with us, so Nowruz wasn't as lonely. 30, 30 years ago, 30 years passes from that Nowruz, and I still get emotional and teary-eyed because it shows to me that for me, Nowruz is about family and creating that love and unity. And so the fact that my parents had taken the time to do that for my brother and I, it touched me. And so I try to make Nowruz as special for my kids as well. They're lucky; they have family here, but still, I like to keep the tradition and not necessarily the gifts. I'm not talking about the giving of the gift. It's just that feeling of you're not alone. You have family, you have friends, you have people who love you and support you and want to make you happy, regardless of what, for example, it might cost them financially or otherwise. So for me, that's my best memory of Nowruz.
Thank you, Sanas. It never, honestly, okay, every time, every show, someone has to say something to make me cry. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Sana. Thank you. Berang, your turn. Best memory from Nowruz.
I have to say I don't have any specific memory of something, but the time that we were given the AD, that thing, is the best time that I have in my memory as something that happens, and it wasn't about how much it is. Obviously, from a child's point of view, it mattered how much, but also it was about the caring and about being thoughtful of me. And I remember that for many years, I would gather all my ADs, I mean, that gift that is given in Nowruz, and with my aunt who has passed away, we would go to some of those bookstores uh, in Tehran, and I would buy a whole lots of books, and it was something like a reservoir for the whole time that I would be spending in my next year. So I would buy many books, and with that, I would make sure that okay, I have something to read for the rest of the year, and that is a big part that still comes into my memory. And mm, I always think about it whenever there is Nowruz. I think I have that memory comes to me and it's alive. The time that I gathered all those, and with my aunt, we would. I have to say that at that time we were living in Isfahan, so for Nowruz we would come to Tehran, and then we would go to those bookshops, and I would buy so many of them to have that to have my let's say uh, whatever I would put together for the rest of the year. So that is something that I can remember from Nowruz at that time.
That's funny. He bought his stash of books for the whole
Exactly.
year. What kind of a kid were you?
A nerd and awkward.
That's awesome. So Ben, I love you talked about AD, and honestly, like that fresh bill, because that's what they did. They always like I guess the older people in the family, they went
Yeah,
and got the freshest bills possible, and they kept them in the middle of
exactly.
the book, whether it be the Quran or the Hafiz or whatever. They kept it in there and waited for the kids as they came. They gave, and I remember that feeling too. It was
Yeah,
like
it was.
you felt so rich and
Yes, yeah.
you felt so loved, right? And abundant. Thank
Yeah,
you, Bang, for that
thank you.
beautiful memory. Okay, next is Layla. What's your best memory about Nowruz, Layla? Hold on, I have to unmute you. Sorry, honey.
Oh, that's okay. Definitely is AD for me. The same thing. Like we really was waiting for that moment to get that AD, and with my brothers, like we put everything until the day 13 to bring to see who's gonna have what, how much. I remember that, and the good thing about the AD, because we do the same thing for my two sons here, and that's a good thing because they really wait for Nowruz. So that's the really good part. Now I understand them. Even today, it was around 5:37, the start of New Year, but I could easily wake them up. Like I said, come on, it's Nowruz, and they really got ready. So we were at the table by the time. So that's a good one. And then I especially want to talk about, because I had my grandma and grandpa living with us. Like they had their own apartment. Like they were the second floor, we were in the third floor, but they usually with us. So because they were kind of the oldest in the family, everybody come to us in the first day or maybe second day of starting the Nowruz. So it's our house. It was full of people, like so many people coming, going, and I remember that getting really exhausted because we need to kind of serve everybody to come and go. But the good thing was, after the second day, it was us. Now enjoy the rest of rest of the Nowruz. Now we go and see the families, and usually because most of my uncles and aunts live in very close. They were very close to each other. For us, it was a little bit, a little bit. We were far from our relatives. So it was a good thing because, like we say, for example, tomorrow everybody go there, and then we all showed up there, and I had the time to play with my cousins, which usually I don't see them like every day. So I remember that joyfulness, because usually we all go to the one room and we just play, and they let us to do whatever we want to do there.
That's so much fun, right? So much fun. So many good memories from when we were kids, and yeah, I do remember having to wake up at like all these different hours of the morning. Whenever Nowruz was, we had to be all gathered by the half seed, and so the idea of getting that 80, just yeah, I remember that woke me up too. So that's fun, and what a great point that you brought up. It is like, because we want to keep our tradition going, and it is, I know, for my son who was born here, AD is a big part of what he loves about Nowruz. I think if we can keep our traditions going using whatever means that we can do. So thank you for that point. Okay, next is Tarik. Tarik, what is your best memory from Nowruz?
Uh, at that time, I was in a school, in high school, and in middle school. These ages. So first of all, it was for me that a holiday opportunity. So whenever Nowruz was coming, so I was like thinking about a holiday, and then there were we are hosting guests, and we are sharing meals and giving. And as you mentioned, we were having new clothes and these things. That was a funny and most joyful moments for us. And this is and still I miss those days, and hope once again I host a party or a host invitation, give to my friends and come to my home and we visit each other. So that will be a pleasure once again. So these were my memories, and actually one day I will do it once again, and it will be continuously happening. This is our tradition, and we should. It is a platform, and it is a age that we can connect each other and we can remember each other, and it is a way of caring for each other. So it's a good festival and good opportunity.
Thank you. So I do remember, yes, having been, having 2 weeks off school was fantastic. And all the best programs, like for kids, were like, they would have all the best shows on TV. And I remember like being so excited that a certain show was going to start. It was good times, good times. Okay, all right, well, what a beautiful way to share your memories with everybody. So if you're watching this, think of your best memory of Nowruz and let it bring you a smile on this day. So we're done our time, guys. I want to thank you so much, but I do still wish for each and every one of you to have an opportunity to leave the audience with whatever you like. So we're going to start with Sanga's Juwon, and then we'll go to Vera. Thank you.
Thank you, Dela Aziz. Again, I want to thank you for this opportunity and being with this amazing group of individuals. My wish for the people watching and everyone, all of humanity, is that I hope that whatever makes your hearts happy and brings a smile to your face, that happens for you. If it's okay, I'll say it in Farsi as well. دوستان عزیز، سال نو رو بهتون تبریک میگم. امیدوارم که هرچی باعث شادی دلتون و لبخند لباتون میشه براتون نه فقط امسال ولی همیشه اتفاق بیفته. مرسی که این وقت به من دادین. Thank you everyone.
Vera and June, your turn.
Thank you for having me, first of all. And I would like to wish each and every one of you who are watching this show, and also everyone who is celebrating this new year, a new being. I would like to wish a new life and a new decision to be and live the life that we want. All of us, we have something in our minds as the ideal life. I wish all of us to have the opportunity to live that life, the ideal life, in this new year. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you, Vera, and thank you. Same to you. Layla June, you're next. I'm going to first unmute you this time, and then you can start. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me opportunity, Dela June. It is my pleasure, really. This is kind of a didani for me, based on this COVID time. And سالی که نکوست از بهارش پیداست means it's going to be a good year. The good year is going to show up in the, in the spring. So if the spring is good, the whole year is going to be good. So today was really good. I enjoy talking with you, listening to panelists, learn about so many things. And it is this year, it's actually starting the week today in Iran. It's starting the month, starting the season, and starting the century. It's today. So many things is happening, so many things is beginning by today. And as Dr. Ajam said, it's a new beginning. So maybe this year, we want to think to change some of the condition of our life. We are really powerful, and I just want to send this message. Like there are so many things we haven't tried, and maybe this year is a new beginning. We want to try to explore ourselves. Maybe it's a year that we want to know about our talents, maybe some of the talents that we didn't find it out yet. It is the time. I promise you, it is the time. And I wish you have a great, great, great year. And hopefully we're done with the COVID. And start a totally different life this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Layla. Thank you so much for the beautiful message. Next, we're going to go to Tarik. I'm going to, you unmute yourself, Tarik? Thank you.
Okay, I will also say have a nice day for everyone. Where are you? I don't know, but as you're watching us, that's a great pleasure for me that I introduced and Hope you learned something from Nowruz, and it is a great day to have a change and have a smile on your faces where you are. Just keep going and have fun and enjoy your life. Thank you for everyone. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Okay, there are some messages here. I want to make sure I read them before we finish. Sarah says, thank you all with a warm hug from an Iranian. Hug back to you. Our Walking with Tiger says, thanks, Dr. Belen. You are so great. He also says, thank you, Dr. Leila. You are so friendly. And he also says, thank you, dear Farhad. It's actually Tarik Farhad. It was great to have you in this live, and he made sure he said something nice about each and every one of you. It's so lovely. Um, I want to say thank you to every single one of my beautiful guests for being here today. I know you made time for this out of your family celebration to be here to bring this message out to the world. We wish to make Nowruz global because it is a great celebration. It's a beautiful tradition, and it just adds to the joy around the world. So, with that thought, I want to wish every single one of you a happy Nowruz, a great year ahead. May you be happier. May you laugh more. May you love more. May you be more grateful for the things you have in your life. May we unite in our humanity, and may we connect all across the world. Um, that's my wish for this year. So thank you to every single one of you for being today. And we're going to finish off with this song. So get your dance on.